Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the results. Kill excuses. The morning drinking show. I'm your host, Greg. Getting back, motherfuckers. Once again, we getting back on here. I'm gonna calm down. Right now. I'm just excited about life. Uh-oh. I'm fired up and I'm excited about life. And I want to inspire you to be excited about life too, right? Could you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Man, that's a much more difficult question than you think. Can you imagine being inspired by life? Inspired. What does it even mean to be inspired? Right? What inspires you? Right? What inspires you? What gets you up in the morning? Right? Are you in love? Does that inspire you? You got a new job. Does that inspire you? Right? Losing some weight. Does that inspire you? Going on vacation. Does that inspire you? Right? What inspires you? Wait, your team just won. So now you're inspired because you won, because your team won. Now you win. Everybody's winners. Right? What inspires you? Because, see, inspiration is not just a state of being. What I mean by that is when you're sitting around and something's inspiring you, right? I'll be honest, a lot of you come and circle back to me. We have conversations saying, hey, man, you're really inspiring. And sometimes you got to ask, like, what does that mean? What does that mean when someone says, hey, you really inspire me? You're inspiring, right? Because I know that's not my goal. My goal is not to just be inspiring, right? My goal is to truly do something, say something, be a role model, right? To help you spring into action. And there is something about being inspired, right? When you're inspired and you see something, you want to go and do something. It usually creates action as a result. I know that during the course of doing a lot of renovations up at my ranch, there were some days that when you have to be self-motivated, and in this world that's going to be a key ingredient to success at any level of anything you want to accomplish, anything you want to set out to accomplish. You got to self-motivate. You have to self kick yourself into gear in that drive, right? And that's really going to be the message of today. But I can tell you that when I was doing a lot of the renovation, and it was tough, man. That shit wasn't easy. There was days we didn't have even power at the ranch, and we needed I had a team of guys driving off grid, right? An outpost location in the national forest, ready to do tile work, and we show up and there's no power. There's no power. So what we get to do? Nothing? No, we come up with plans. We created power, right? And it's having that inspiration to say, hey, look, I'm inspired. Like, I want to accomplish whatever it is. And usually throughout the process of trying to accomplish something, you're going to be met with resistance. What do I mean by resistance? Just everything's not going to go your way. And when everything doesn't go your way, like, what are you going to do to push past that resistance, to get to the other side, to accomplish whatever it is that you are setting out to accomplish, right? It's not going to be just a smooth walk in the park unless you're really aiming low. If your goal today is to literally just take a shower and get dressed, but you're not inspired to do anything else beyond that, right? Isn't that like one of the most basic functions of a pretty typical day? And even in that, man, trust me, there's a significant amount of people on this planet, this same planet that you and I are on right now, that don't even have that. They didn't even sleep in a warm bed, right? Or a cool bed, depending on how hot it is right now. And there's a significant amount of the world's population that have no access to fresh water, clean water, right? And hot water. And we take this shit for granted. We totally take it for granted as if the most basic things, right, is uninspiring, cannot be appreciated, cannot set us up for a more successful life, right? Because I think that it is when you truly do ground yourself, root yourself in being grateful, right? Waking up with an attitude of gratitude. And I'm grateful today, man. And I want to inspire you to be grateful today. Because no matter where you're at, today could be the day. Today could be the day. But guess what? You're in charge, right? You're in charge. You're in charge of your life. You're in charge of your mindset. You're in charge of your attitude, right? You're in charge of your energy. And that's a big one. Let's underscore energy. You are in charge of your energy. If you have depleted energy, exhausted energy, overwhelmed energy, afraid energy, scared energy, frustrated energy, angry energy, disappointed energy, if you have any of that flowing through your body, through your spirit, through who you are as a being, right? It's time to clean that out. That's what, something so simple like the smudging does. The smudging cleans the energy. I believe it. I believe it clears the energy. I sense it, right? Anytime it's like, it's a routine, it's a ritual. Anytime I rent out my property, we smudge before, during, and after because it cleanses out whoever was there, whatever energy they got, so that the next person shows up. And guess what? That energy is back to neutral. It's back to pure. It's back to clear. And a lot of us are walking around with negative energy, and we're walking around in denial of that negative energy. So today may not be your day. It's not going to be everybody's day, but it is a significant day. And that's the beautiful thing, right? Why is today significant? Because it's your birthday? No. Because it's a holiday? No. Because it's almost the summer? No. Because I'm going to win big? No. Right? You already did win big. That's, again, the gratitude. You already won big. You're human. It's a 1 in like 4 trillion odds, or maybe even 400 trillion odds that you're a human being. Right? And yet, I say this often, this analogy, right? If I was to say, okay, check it out, you're a human being, you are so incredibly lucky right now. And you're so lucky that, look, I will give you $10 million right now, but today's your last day. You can't give it away. You can spend it, but you can't give it away to other people. You can go and do whatever you want with $10 million today, but guess what? You don't get to wake up tomorrow. Right? You hear that, right? You get it? You can't wake up tomorrow. I'll give you $10 million. Because for so many of us in this day and age, 23, we think money is what's going to fix all our problems, right? And certainly money is a powerful tool, right? It is a powerful tool. We need to acknowledge that money is a powerful tool. But a more powerful tool, right, is what value you believe you are, right? Because money comes and goes. It's like a river. It's like water. It comes and goes, right? But it's what value you bring to the table that is truly the most important thing. The real wealth in this world is who you are or who you're not. But it also gives you an opportunity to become something you're not right now. And that's what I'm talking about by this could be the day. This could be the day that you say, enough's enough. I'm ready. And let's cut to the chase. That's what we're talking about. Right? Because ain't no adult gonna change unless they're ready to change. Period. I've been there. I was not ready to change until I was ready to change. And unfortunately, it took hitting rock fucking bottom for me to finally say, oh my God, this is terrible. What is wrong with me? How did I get here? And how the fuck do I get out? Right? And it was beautiful. Yesterday was a fun day. Every day is a fun day. And for those of you that, let's be honest, not everybody that watches this shit wants to see, and this is just true in life, right? Not everybody likes to see people gain more success, stack up wins, right? Most people don't. We get very envious. We get very jealous. We get very resentful, right? Of when other people are stacking up wins. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm about to stack up a lot more wins. Shit is going down again. Shit's going down, right? So if y'all don't like to see this motherfucker winning, right? Even though I want to see you winning, whoever you is, right? I want to see you winning. And I'm not talking, I want to see you winning at life, right? I want to see you healing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I want to see you becoming the best version of yourself, because that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Today, I'm writing on the top of my journal, just gratitude, man. Grateful. I'm grateful that I get to learn and grow and heal and become the best version of myself today. But I also know that, guess what? I am the best version of myself right here, right now. Not from the show from last week, last year, none of that. The best version of me is right now. And a lot of you get stuck in a time capsule. The best version of you when you were younger and thinner and more athletic and more free, right? That was the best version. Right now sucks. I got old. I got responsibilities and I don't like all this shit. And all of that is just mind fuckery. You have told yourself this story that somehow you have gotten old. Life is not as fun, right? And you don't know what to do about it. Or there's nothing you can do. That's even worse. When motherfuckers, you or try to tell yourself and convince yourself internally that there's nothing you can do about it. Whatever it is, fill it in. What is it? I'm loving this shit right now. Whatever it is, there's nothing I can do about it. There are some things that you have zero control over. There are plenty of things you cannot change. I can't change that. So I don't make my life about changing that. I make my life about becoming what I do want to change, what I can change. And guess what? I could change just about everything. I can change how I feel about that. I can change how I see that, right? I can't change that happened, but guess what? That is not now. That was then. This is now. And now is when is the best time. And that's what's so important for so many people to grab a hold of. You may not be the best version of yourself right now. Let's be honest, because you're stuck in this time capsule. You need to go with a hammer, a sledgehammer, right? And break the little time capsule that you're stuck in and rescue yourself and say, come on, let's get out of the time capsule. We know how fun it was. We know how sexy we were back then and young and good looking. We just had very few less insecurities, right? So let's go rescue that person and let's come into this reality and let's really take an analysis of what is your reality right now. Do you need to improve your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health? Any of those need to be improved. You know you can improve that. But are you willing to put in the work? But it's not until you are ready to put in the work. Because if you keep sitting there saying there's nothing I can do, then you're right. There's nothing you can do. You are right. Don't worry about me. Right? I knew that there was a fucking shit ton that I could do, and I keep doing it. We're going on 11 years into the future that I've continued. When I hit rock bottom, that I said I need a change. I can't be this no more. This is not me. This is not who I'm called to be, right? And I am going to change. And there's something very powerful when that happens for a human being, right? I ran into an old friend yesterday, a near and dear friend of mine, right? He's a Marine veteran. And he's a guy, when I first showed up to Santa Fe Community College, that's where our paths crossed. And he was in a really tough patch. Again, I was coming out of a tough patch, but still going through my shit. And he was really in his shit. I can tell you that I'm pretty sure I took him to one of his first AA meetings, right? That's my heart, to help people, right? I cared about this guy. And I know that I think I was even super spiritual back then. I probably even bought him a Bible, man. It's like, here, bro, like, you need to read this. You need positivity in your life. You need like something greater than whatever the fuck it is that you're just caught up on, man. This cyclical thinking, this woe is me, this is I'm a victim, or even in a system like the VA, right? Veterans Administration and society at large, they can dub veterans like myself and others as something is wrong with us, and we're then labeled. And then we apply those labels to who we are, and guess what? That's what we identify as, and guess what? That's who we become. Very disempowering. And to see this man yesterday, the smile, the energy, remember I told you, the energy, right, was excitement. I mean, he's inviting me to, hey, man, he's leading a men's recovery group now, right? Talking about, speaking in front of men about recovery and being inspired about this. And this guy was a mess. He was a mess, man. He was a mess, right? And to see the joy and the passion. But guess what? I took him to that meeting, first AA meeting, and I know he went back to drinking. He went back. He wasn't ready, right? Gave him a Bible. He wasn't ready. I gave him tools. I kept giving him tools to try and help him along his path. And guess what? Until he was ready, he wasn't ready. And it's the same with you, and it's the same with me. But guess what? You get to choose when the fuck you're ready. And that's what pisses me off. So many of you are acting like there's nothing I can do. Yes, you can. You can say, I'm ready. You can be sick and tired of continuing to just harm yourself in whatever ways you're doing. Running to vices, right? Just sitting there acting like a victim, like there's nothing you can do. Identifying yourself with labels and diagnoses that have been applied to you and saying, this is who I am. Ain't nothing good I can do about it. I'm this way. That's bullshit. Has anybody ever heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza? This man got hit by a vehicle on a bike, totally broke his entire spinal cord. And rather than getting surgery, significant, like total spinal surgery, with a potential to be paralyzed for the rest of his life, this man discovered the quantum realm of how powerful our thoughts are, that he was able to heal himself, you guys. This is scientific proof. He healed. He rebuilt his entire spine by thought alone. How is that real? But it is, because here's a very simple explanation. Look around you. Look at everything that has been built by a human being. I'm staring at a computer right now. I'm thinking of this coffee cup right here, the shirts, everything. Everything you can think of, the cars, the buildings, the planes, the trains, the roads, right? All the technology. Where did this stuff come from? It came from our minds. It came from thought. That tells you how powerful your fucking thoughts are. Our thoughts literally manifest things into physical reality. Nothing here. Think about naked earth, just natural resources. And then human beings get put on here. We have this divine intelligence that we can then manifest shit out of thin air. Holy shit. And that is the piece you got to grab a hold of. That your entire reality is your thoughts. I know you don't want to hear that shit. That hurts so many people because bad things have happened to you. A lot of people I talk to, some bad shit's happen, right? But what's worse than bad shit happening? You not setting yourself free from it. You not allowing yourself and giving yourself permission to heal, to grow, and to transcend anything that has happened to you on this earth. Knowing that you get to give yourself permission to let go of it, to forgive yourself, to forgive whoever's hurt you, whatever's happened to you, and that you can set yourself free. And today could be the day that you finally hit that rock bottom where, guess what? It's not I can't do anything or I will do anything. Both are desperation, right? To where when I was set on fire, when this shit happened, dude, nothing that I encountered that I believed would give me some sort of a positive result in building me up and getting me to a better place. Hear me out. Because I had this conversation with my friend who is now thriving in life and great things are happening in his life. But I looked him in the eyes and I said, dude, do you remember when I would take you to places and encourage you to do stuff and you didn't do it? And now look at you. When you finally were ready, think about it. Even to this day, for me as well, if I hear about something or something comes up that I can then perceive that this is positive, this will build me up, this doesn't harm me, this doesn't devalue who I am. But if it is something that can actually benefit my life in a positive way, I will do it. I will try it. Whether I commit to it forever or it's something I fall in love with, I don't know. But if I perceive that there is something positive that is being presented to me as a new opportunity, a new experience, right? I will do it. That is my mindset. I will do it. And I know that this guy, same thing. He's like, yeah. He had to really think about it because he did turn into more of the religious type. So he's like, but it has to be spiritual and da da da. I'm like, yes, dude, yes. Did you hear me? It's not about, you don't have to fill in the blanks. If you know something's positive for you and it's going to build you up and improve your life, would you ever say no to that? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to always do those things. But yet there's so many of, let's not point fingers. There's so many people that are struggling right now that you don't want to admit the bad habits you got. You don't want to truly see that there are a lot of things you're doing that aren't positive, that don't build you up, that don't make you better, right? They actually build a thicker and thicker shell, thicker and thicker, right? Defenses, protection, security, right? To cover up the wounds that are inside, the emotional wounds, right? The more you go to the vices, getting drunk, getting high, popping pills, eating unhealthy, right? The more you go to those vices, those unhealthy, bad habits, right? It's avoiding. You're avoiding something. And that something is what? Allowing some vulnerability to take place within yourself to actually come to some clarity that, look, you've been through some tough shit and you need to be responsible for it. Because as I said before, what's worse than bad shit happening is you not allowing yourself to heal and to transcend and to grow and to let go and to move on with your life. By continuing to victimize yourself and act as if the bad shit is still happening. And that somehow there's nothing you can do. Right. And if you want to be the person that says there's nothing you could do, then you're that person. There's nothing that you can do. But life isn't going to just say, okay, you get out of jail free card. We're going to leave you alone. No, life is usually pretty hard when you're not living with intention, when you don't have a plan, when you're not inspired. Remember that word from the beginning, inspired. Because when you're inspired, right, then you take action. Me getting on here, pressing live, I don't do that without being inspired to know that this message is connecting with people that need to hear it. Believing in that law of attraction, believing that, guess what? My mess can be a message and can be a miracle to your life. It can truly plant a seed that will eventually grow when you are ready. And if you're not ready, then you're not ready. And that's the shitty thing, right? I get a lot of people coming that aren't the person. And I caution you not being the person. And when I say that you're not the person, meaning you listen to this and all you think about is someone else and what they need, how this could help them, and now this is what they need. And it's like, that's great. It's good to be mindful of people, share it with them, but if they're not ready, they're not ready. But there's also a reason that you're here. And it's not for them. You're here for you. We all got some shit to work on. And that's where we need to really come to an awakening to say, you're not here for them. It's great that you're mindful of them, right? That they come to mind. Consider them, share with them, right? But ultimately, people are going to want to learn by your example. And your example comes by what? What you're inspired by, what you're willing to do, your actions, right? There was a lot of us during the pandemic, right? That got turned off by people that were like freaking out about health and being healthy and wearing masks and all of the stuff that you had to do, right? To try and keep other people safe. And you look at these people physically, and they're very unhealthy people, but yet they're raging about health and their health. And certainly the more unhealthy you are, the more vulnerable you are. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? I believe I have put myself in such a place of being like a superhuman that I don't get sick no more. That's it. I'm superhuman. I just put so much, not only vitamins, nutrients, minerals, right? Superfood into my body that it keeps me at optimal state of living. My thoughts are optimal, you guys. What I think, a lot of us just think and become sick. We get stressed the fuck out and we become sick. I posted about that. What is your self-care routine? Most of y'all don't have a self-care routine. Most of y'all don't know what self-care is, right? When was the last time you got a massage? That's like one of my top 3 things for self-care. And when I do massages, I'm talking like a few times a month, 2 to 3 times a month. Most of y'all are like, well, I get it on my anniversary or my birthday or like a special time. It's like, what? If you know your love language and your love language is physical touch, and we're not talking about happy special bullshit here. We're talking about real body workers that can really help to alleviate stress, pain, right? Tension within your body. This is really healthy shit. But then if you have a love language that's physical touch, by having a really positive body worker that's a positive person working on your body, man, it may cost you $100, but you'll leave there feeling like $1 billion, man. because it's your body. And we abuse our bodies. We abuse our bodies by what? Not dealing with the shit on the inside, the mental and the emotional pieces, the spiritual pieces. So if you're here and you think about, man, I really know XYZ, these people that need to hear this message, share it. Please share it. I believe this message will find its audience, and it has, and it will continue to find the audience. It will continue to grow. I'm going to continue doing this, right? I've made it very clear to you, right? As I gave the example earlier in the show about how if I was to offer you $10 million, but you don't wake up tomorrow, most of y'all wouldn't take that. You'd be like, no, right? So then what does that say about your worth? You're worth more than $10 million, but you're not living like it, right? You're living based on what your bank account says. You're living by the burdens and the exhaustion of life. You're not walking around like you're worth more than $10 million, right? It's the truth. You're not, because it's all about your mental state of being, right? And yet you have the option right now, today, right, to switch up, to change up, right? And unfortunately, we live in a day and age where we want quick and easy. We want instant gratification, instant success, instant victories, right? We think it's okay to sit there and waste hours upon hours cheering on other people as they win at life, because we don't feel that we're worth it. To put that shit, turn it off. Turn off the distractions, get your ass up and go to the gym. Go for a walk, go for a hike, right? Go to the store, spend 5 hours watching some healthy cooking shows so that you can start learning about how to cook differently. But you'd rather just sit there and watch, be entertained. You could teach yourself anything, but if you were ready, you would. See, that's the difference. If you were ready to be healthier, you would start learning on your own how to be more healthy. You would be inspired to do that. You would be like, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to spend as much time learning how to cook new, how to eat different. I'm going to learn some new activities that are going to build me up, help me to have more breath work and resistance and really show that I love and care for my body, right? And my reward system for doing good would also change. A lot of us right now, I see it all the time. Someone posted this morning, right? But this is the mentality of it. And again, the thought is great. The thought is great. And I experienced it even when I was in Montana recently. But I saw a guy, maybe he's a foreman or something. And he's like, man, God, taking care of my peeps. Can't thank them enough, right? And it was a picture of, he had a bag of Red Bulls, right? Not even sugar-free, just straight up Red Bulls. And egg McMuffins, right? Sausage, egg McMuffins. And it's like, that's like, to think that you couldn't thank your people enough. I mean, that's poisoning them. Let's be honest. What you are going to give somebody is poison. I saw another person the other day posting up, about like a social gathering in a spiritual place, and it was all about donuts. And we all know this. It's all about donuts. Donuts are like the most unhealthiest shit. But how come we use that as a means to even like draw people in, right? The sweets. And it's like, it's sad. It's sad that we literally don't have high enough health and wellness values, right? That is, organizations that want to improve spiritual health, we don't care about the physical, that we would never allow for bullshit food to be served in our organization, because we would want our people to know, look, we want to exemplify not only your spiritual health, but your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, all four. Right? So it's just crazy. It's a way of life. But we also use that as our reward system. When something good happens, right? What's one of the first things we want to do? We want to go buy a big old steak or go out to dinner, eat a big old like steak and lobster and butter and just a 10,000 calorie fucking meal. And we call that like, oh, look at me. I'm treating myself. We brag about it. You take pictures and brag. Right? You got alcohol there, you're poisoning yourself, and then you're also like literally killing yourself with food. And we brag about it. Like, holy shit, what has happened to humanity? That we don't give a fuck. That we actually don't even think about what we're doing. Right? It's like, dude, I said this a long time ago. I remember when I used to take my kids fishing on a regular basis a lot when they were way younger. The only place open early morning was a McDonald's, and I used to be that guy, right? Sausage, egg McMuffins, all the bullshit. And one time we were going up to the lake and we stopped and my kid got sick as fuck. And I knew it was from the food. We've all seen Super Size Me, or if you haven't, watched that shit. And it was just from that moment. And this was just years ago, man, 10 years ago. I said, never again, man. I will go into a fast. If the only food available is them golden arches, I will go into a fast. I will not consume that trash. That is bullshit. It is garbage. I will not put garbage in my body like that. And I've been even just really proud of myself that I've been ratcheting down. What? Because I told you I used to have that sweet tooth. Dude, I haven't bought candies, little gummies, candies, Sour Patches, any of that bullshit in fuck, man, months since March, April, May. We're almost at 4 months, right? Little by little. But guess what? It took me on that day in March on the way on this road trip to Arizona. I'm sitting there in Walmart with fucking 2 big, huge bags of jelly bean candies. And I'm like, dude, who's going to eat this? And I already know that I feel like shit when I eat it. And I'm like, it's not about the candies. I know what the underlying issue was, right? My underlying issue, if I'm transparent with you guys, is road trips brings back a lot of really sensitive memories of being in relationships of the past, important, significant relationships, one in particular. So yeah, I'm still processing and healing from when I go and set out solo on these road trips. So going on a road trip, I know I was just feeling a lot of these memories and just shit was popping back up that I was like, I needed to sit in that. And that was the beautiful thing, because I was sitting there at Walmart. I said, fuck, man, I'm going to eat all this fucking candy. I don't want all this candy. I want to be healed. Being healed is more important to me than eating candy. That is really just what? A way for me to somehow kick in some endorphins to avoid the emotional work I need to really do at the deeper levels of who I am to heal. And so 4 months later, man, it's like I have told myself, reprogrammed myself to say, hey, when I feel emotionally uncomfortable or memories of this particular category of, again, heartbreak, losing an intimate partner that you care a lot about, all of that, we've all been through that shit, right? My trigger was the sweets, I could tell. And so I said, I'm not going to do it no more, because I know that's not what I desire and it doesn't build me up. So even something so simple like that, it doesn't build me up. So I said, no more, enough, we're done. Time out, no more of that. It's time to get past using sweets as an excuse to avoid some deeper work I needed to do, emotionally speaking, right? And that was a tough trip, but I came back more focused, more clear. And I know it was because, guess what? I said, today's the day. Today's the day. Today's the day I don't use candy as a reason to avoid doing some deeper emotional work in terms of intimate relationships and connections and attachments, right? I want to heal and grow even more, right? And I do this every day, you guys. Every day I'm waking up and working on shit. Yesterday I had some shit happen and it was a little embarrassing. It could have been embarrassing, right? But I can see that I'm changing. That even though I can say, you know what, I don't want to act, I shouldn't act that way. I was being a little flirtatious at a restaurant and I made a mess of myself. I got like kind of the mess happen on me. Um, and I can play that back and say, you know what, let's not do that again. Right. Let's not be that version. Let's fix that. Right. And it's not critical, it's not judgmental, it's not hurtful towards myself. It's just I challenge myself. This game of life is me versus me. A lot of you don't want to understand that. Your life is me, whoever you are versus you versus you, me versus me, you versus you. That's the game. You're not competing against no one else. You're not competing against any other mother or father or badass motherfucker. You ain't competing against none of them. You're competing against you and you alone. That's it. And all you want to do is what? Be a little better than who you were yesterday. You want to see with fucking sober, clear eyes, shit, I can grow in some areas and I'm going to. And today's the day. That's what I'm trying to inspire you to grab a hold of in this message. Today could be the day. I really wish it would be the day. I really wish you were ready, because until you are ready, ain't nobody gonna get you to do shit. You could watch this. People could tell you you need to change. People can beg you to change. If you ain't ready, you ain't changing. Right? And a lot of you will lie about changing. And that's the difference. When someone is really ready to change, they will try everything that gives them the perception of improving their life. There's nothing that will be off limits. You won't say, oh, I don't like that. You'll be like, sure, I'll try it. I'll try it. I haven't ever tried that before. What do I got to lose? What do I got to lose? I'm here to grow. I'm here to learn. I'm here to become a better version. That thing that I've been avoiding, that thing that I used to talk shit about, yoga. I mean, I could tell you everything. The things that I used to talk the most shit about, yoga, being a vegan, right, have been the most impactful, some of the most impactful things in my life. Even therapy, talking shit about therapy, very impactful in my life, right? And so I'm grateful for that. But I knew that, guess what? I had to be ready. And it took me hitting rock bottom to finally be ready, to finally spring into action, to be inspired, to where I didn't need other people to poke and prod me. Hey, how come I thought you were going to start doing AA meetings. I thought you were going to get in recovery. I thought you were going to start eating healthier. I didn't need anybody to fucking hold me accountable. It's nice when people do. But I said, I know who I want to be. And it's not this version of me. It's this other version that I'm seeing and that I am becoming. Right? And I know that every single day I have to be honest with myself, reflect just a little bit to say, yep, I will improve the next time this pops up. I'll make that switch. I'll make that adjustment. Right? And it's just constant growth. It's constant flow of life, aligning myself with divine source, with God, with my true calling in this life. Knowing that, guess what? When I press play, when I press live, this just flows. This is not rehearsed. I come up with a topic and I just start talking. And I know that you guys are getting, it's resonating. Doesn't have to resonate with everybody. I know a lot of you freak the fuck out. But the few of you or the manys, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as I can touch one person, guess what? I'm hitting number 5 there, making a difference. If I'm reaching one person today and planting a big enough seed that they're like reflecting and saying, you know what, he's right. Maybe it is time. Maybe I do need to ask for help. Maybe I do need therapy. Maybe I do need to hire a life coach. Maybe I do need to hire a nutritionist. Maybe I do need to go back to school. Maybe I do need to make some improvements in my life without someone else asking me or telling me or needing me to do it. I need to do it for me. Because my life matters, because my life is my reality. It's my creation. Your life is your creation. And that's the most beautiful thing. You're the author and the editor. If you don't like what you got, then you can make some adjustments. You don't just scribble it out. You don't erase. I was telling someone the other day, you don't erase. When you start writing out your story and journaling, don't erase, just one line it, right? Because you don't need to hide what is. And then you can say, you know what? I never had confidence, or whatever it is, right? You can just kind of make a statement that is the reality of now. And then if you want to transcend that, you can say no more. But from now on, I'm choosing to be more courageous. I'm choosing to be more bold. I'm choosing to be more brave. I'm choosing to be healthier. I'm choosing to be wealthier. I'm choosing to believe in myself when no one else does, right? That's what it takes. That's all that it takes. This shit is not difficult, but it's also not easy because we want it quick. You want things to change now. And all that it takes is you to say, I'm ready and I'm not going to stop. And whatever reason, some of us, we got to hit the motherfucking bottom of bottoms, rock hard bottom, for us to wake the fuck up. And guess what? Some of us don't. There's some people that I know right now that are hurting, right? They could delete themselves. I could delete myself. You might delete yourself, right? It's a part of reality. There are some people that cannot and will not change, that they say, you know what? I can't take the pain no more. Goodbye. And it's sad. It's sad when that shit goes down. But this is a game of life and death. That's the reality. That is the absolute fucking truth. 186,000 people die every single day for a gazillion different reasons. It's not because you're just old and sick, right? Today could be the day for that too, right? So live life to the fullest. Why not start living life with more intention? Why not start spending less time watching others, being distracted, and start focusing on you, looking at your gifts, looking at your talents, career interest assessment. Figure out what truly makes you feel alive, what truly makes you feel passionate. We've been doing these interviews for chefs and pastry chefs and bartenders, and it's so cool that the pastry chefs, more than anybody else, when we would show them our proposed menu, right? You could just see their eyes lit up. Like both of these candidates were like, whoa, they were just so excited. You could see it when someone lights up because they're doing something they're passionate about. You deserve that too. I deserve that. I'm working on that. And I hope that you'll join me in that process of self-help, self-work, self-rescue, right? But it starts with what? Telling those motherfucking excuses to shut the fuck up. Because you know the drill. Results kill excuses. It's all on me, Greg.